Guess what? It's been recording.
Why do you do this?
Because it's funny.
All right, so hi, I am Dave, and today I decided to do something a little bit different. Some people have asked, like, to show the stuff that I show, like the statues and things on the shelves, how I have them set up. And I'm going to share today one of my favorite shelves. It's not exactly my favorite pieces of statues that I own, but it is my favorite shelf. When I look at it, it makes me happy. And it contains some characters that I just absolutely love. So let's take a look.
What does it make you feel?
It makes me feel happy.
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 Happy's good.
Happy. Yeah. Also, I did a shot of tequila before I came down here, so I'm feeling pretty good. So yeah, here we are. This is, what is this, a Billy cabinet, I think it is, from IKEA?
Yeah, I think it's
Billy.
Billy.
I think it is. So yeah, it has some of my favorite shelves in here, and the shelf that I particularly love is this second row here.
Besta, because it's deeper.
Is it a Besta?
It's a Besta.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a Billy. So, because I don't think Bestas have this.
Billies are for the movies
Oh.
because they're not as deep.
Okay, this one's...
Is this an IKEA video?
It is an IKEA video.
It is now.
Yeah. So
Wait,
anyway,
first, who's that up there?
so that is the Tweeterhead 1/4 scale Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Absolutely love her. And this is a bookshelf, and I forget, there were DC Comics did an Artist Alley style set of character statues, and those are the bookends. And I absolutely loved it, got it, and very happy that I did.
And that's a Hallmark ornament.
And this is a Hallmark schnauzer that I just absolutely love. And this is Mezco Catwoman.
Okay, let's get to the beef of it.
Let's get to the beef of it. So yeah, on the top shelf we have, a bunch of Gentle Giant minibusts that I absolutely just love the scale. They're 1/6 scale. And these are characters that I probably would not be able to get full statues in. So I decided to just go ahead and get these. And of course they have the cute little Gentle Giant mini, the Scotty, I can't remember his last name right now, Scotty Marvel Babies type drawings. And then there's Daredevil, Deadpool, and
So you're naming
Star-Lord.
all the people I'm not showing. Okay.
Deadpool, and then there's Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Yeah, and I just love the scale of these. And some of them, if they had legs, I probably would have still bought them, but they just have iconic poses. And probably the only versions of these things that I'm going to have. I don't have any Moon Knight, Hulk, or Juggernaut, or Beast statues, as I mostly collect the ladies. So yeah, those are some of my favorite pieces, and they will be in my collection for as long as I'm here, until I ended up just like
Keeling over?
burying them with me.
Put it in your womb.
So yes, so those are the ones that are on the top shelf of they're my favorites. They will never move. They're always in the same position. I just,
You know who they are. You don't have to name each one.
are. And I absolutely just love them. I think they're great versions of them. And this Hulk, I got this because it was sort of like completing the set. Not that I'm a big fan of the Hulk, but I think it's a great rendition of him. And down to my favorite shelf. So I got started collecting statues several years ago. And this was probably the first one that I ever hunted down, outside from the minibust of Catwoman and Poison Ivy that DC had done. But this was the first statue that I actually hunted down, that I absolutely wanted it from the moment I saw it, but it was a little pricey. And I got this one for a good price on eBay from a buyer.
Which one is it?
And it is the Emma Frost, drawn by Mark Brooks and made by Sideshow. It's a comicette, so it's in 1/5 scale. And they will never, ever make this costume again. And this is, for me, her most iconic look. And she's wearing a thong, so of course all her booty's out, but I'm not going to rotate her around. The only reason why I got her for a good price, and by a good price, it was really expensive for me back in the day, was because one of the straps on her cape, which she just casually tosses back here, which just sort of like alludes to her upbringing, that somebody's going to be there behind her to pick it up, because she's so wealthy. I glued it back on, and it was a clean break with one of the straps, and I got it for, at the time, I thought was expensive, $179, and now I just love, every time I walk down the step and I look at her, I'm absolutely in love with her, because this is a look we'll never get again. Sideshow, and with the whole, everybody politically correct, you won't get the pushed up boobs and all that stuff, and the sexy thigh highs. And
Oh, Jesus.
None of that stuff anymore.
Let me back up for that.
She's really good.
And no one would ever know that it was broken before.
Nobody would ever know.
But now they do because you told them.
Yeah, I have a little bit of art in my background, so I, glued it back together, painted it with some pearlescent paint, and sealed it, and she's good. Then my second favorite one here is the Black Queen. Jean Grey is a Black Queen, and she's also wearing a thong with a nice little rosette in the back. And these are done, the artist Mark Brooks does really phenomenal woman. And Sideshow did a great job in recreating these iconic poses. Again, as I said, they are most likely never going to repeat these uber sexy sex kitten looks for these characters again. And they bring me joy every time I come down and I look at them in the steps, because this is the first cabinet that I see when I come down into our media room. And the one good thing about our media room, for some reason, it stays around 60, 65 degrees all year round in the basement. And so we don't get a lot of any sort of paint flaking or damages or the fabric chipping off because
of humidity.
It's
drying.
The top ones. You're very good at that, though. So, and then we get to one of my probably the favorite statue in here. And Sideshow has done several versions of J. Scott Campbell's art, but this Gwen Stacy, I think, was probably the first time that they actually got his art right. It's just the most beautiful, simple statue of her walking in the rain and with her eyes closed. You could tell that she just left Peter Parker and he probably kissed her, and she's probably feeling pretty good about it. But it's just this sort of dainty walk, and they did not hold back insofar as translating his art or trying to make it more modern. They had the ankles that are just impossible for any woman to have. Her ankles always look like they're broken. The instep and the toes are just way too pointy. But for some reason, everything about this statue came together and it just worked phenomenally. And I knew as soon as I saw it that I had to have her. And, they really went all out. The movement of her raincoat and just her hair, the simplicity of it, just the way he draws it. And it is absolutely probably the best version of any J. Scott Campbell piece ever. I've seen others that are close, but this one just is my favorite of the character that he's done. Never been a huge Gwen Stacy fan.
She's like, hold my face.
She's like, hold my face. And then, of course, it's paired perfectly.
Smell my finger.
With the J. Scott Campbell Spiderman. Right here, he's leaning up against the wall, very lanky and just lean, and just all of the limbs are elongated just the way that J. Scott Campbell draws, and just the feet are in these impossible positions. They're pointed, and his fingers are so long that they look like they could make Gwen Stacy feel really good. That's probably why she's smiling like that. Anyway, so he's up against the wall.
Finger. Whoa!
And I just love the head sculpt. I love the eyes and just the sort of muted red and blues that they've used. And again, he's on this busted up wall with a sort of graffitied version of his face on there. And right below, I like to pair different odd sizes with my statue collection. And below is the Gentle Giant babies done by Scotty, whatever his name is. And that is the Punisher. And if I'm not mistaken, the Punisher made his first appearance in a Spider-Man comic. I could be wrong. Maybe it was a Daredevil, but I could be wrong.
By all means, correct below in the comments.
Yeah. But this is my favorite shelf, and this is what I come down and I look at in the mornings, and I see, especially the Emma Frost or White Queen, but she's definitely known as Emma Frost on this box, the comic kit, and Mark Brooks just did an amazing work on her. Very happy that these are in my collection.
Do you want to do a sneak peek at the shelves below?
Yeah, we can talk about the shelves below. They're still pretty clean, I think. Yeah, the shelves below kind of have a set of mini-busts. These are the Hammer Horror mini bust. I forget who did them. It's been a while. And a bunch of these are Guillermo del Toro, different characters. Pan's Labyrinth, The Pale Man, Mr. Wink from Hellboy. Not painted great, but I refuse to give it up because, that's the only version we're going to get. And that's Prince Nubia. I think that's what his name, Prince whatever his name is.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
No, that's his sister.
And then there's Hellboy and Johann Kraus and Van Helsing back there. And I forget what her name is at this point. But this is also one of my favorite statues from Gentle Giant. One of my favorite TV shows, Grimm, which I think they're redoing. They're doing a reboot. So maybe we'll get more statues from him. David Gentoli as Grimm, which is great. He's actually going to be here at Fan Expo, so we'll see if, we get pictures with him. And I absolutely love them. And then on the bottom shelf, we have a few sideshow pieces and Tweeterhead. Probably one of my favorite Tweeterhead pieces, Elvira's Christmas, Scary Christmas, with her on top of a chimney. Lots of action going on there. Right next to her is the sideshow Vampirella with those really thin straps, and I think it was probably my favorite version of Vampirella that they have done, and the only one that's in my collection as a statue. Just beautiful, the bats and everything, just the pose, very seductive, and this was the exclusive, so it comes with the different head sculpt. I don't know how that covers her boobs that way, but it just does. It's magic. And then
and double-sided tape.
And double-sided tape. And on the far left, we have the premium format of Elvira, done by Sideshow, coming out of the coffin, which I think is just great. Her gown or nightie is fabric, and I think they did a great job with it. It's wired, so you can get nice movement, and she's coming out of her coffin. So I just thought that they all seem to work together. And then for a little bit of whimsy, I put on the bottom the Halloween theme, Miku Hatsune, who I went through a phase of collecting a lot of Miku Hatsune figures, or it's Miku Hatsune. And this is one that I kept. Most of them have been boxed up and didn't fit with my aesthetic anymore. So she's there with the ladies, the Halloween ladies.
She's giving me Schmeagle vibes.
Right there.
Schmeagle!
Yeah, it's a close resemblance, but it's not the most perfect one that they've ever done. I mean, the new one that they've done, the 1/4 scale one they just put out is absolute perfection. And that's done by Tweeterhead. The Sideshow one was a close proximity. And that's the shelf. These are the ones that I come down to in the morning, and I love them. So thank you for joining and checking out this little preview of the shelf and showing. And if you like this, give me the thumbs up and let me know if you want to see more. Thank you. Bye.